They know everything.
ANC can be fixed. ANC must be serious with the youth. Take Malaji out and be serious with the youth. There's some serious youth leaders in the ANC that can come up and take from Malaji. And Zungula sees it. Zungula, if we were to go with popularity and say who is to be the next president, we put Zuma, Zungula, Julius, and Tenyo. Zungula, if not number 2, he will be number 3 in South Africa. Of all the politicians, he's loved by everyone outside the ATM. It's just people are not going to vote for what they are making in parliament. Yes. So you can have people getting parliament salaries in the IFP. Without going in parliament. So this person can work the ground the whole year and you pay him very well. I'm talking about serious money. Yeah. You know, people, there was a month where they got 35 million. What are you going to do with that money? It's serious money, over 100 million over the past 5 years. For Julius, he should tread carefully than Jacob Zuma, because people are not that forgiving to him. You understand? People, South Africans are icon. One thing I've noticed with my political journey in terms of Pan Africanism, South Africans don't want Pan Africanism.
Politically incorrect. We are going to talk the politics of King Kagiso Hlongwane.
Yes.
What makes his politics? It's a man who says he does not know how he landed into politics. He was just drawn into it. What made you think? Or maybe it's a wrong question. How did you gravitate towards Pan Africanism? Which leaders drew you to that?
In South Africa?
No, just what made you, or your kind of politics. Is Kaudira, what is this? A flute politicians, Oskaba Musimaimani, over Steve Biko. Yes.
To have a stance.
What attracted you to Pan Africanism? Reading.
Yeah, reading about Robert Sobukwe. Reading about Marcus Garvey. Reading is what got me in there. I love reading a lot. But also in more recent times, I think we also stumbled into Ifatunde and liking what he's saying, liking the energy that he's bringing to it, and Andile Ngitama. Andy Lengitama is also one of those people that
brilliant African man.
Yeah, no, that I like so much. I tell people that I voted for Black First, Land First.
Yeah.
I was like, yes, but this is what I want.
Sure.
Because at the end of the day, like you say, this lukewarm thing that you are doing, this lukewarm stance is what kills us as African people. And I think it makes us soft, and it costs us so much. So I like African people that understand, well, no, as black people we have come a long way, but we still have a long way to go. And how to get there is very important. So yeah, there's so many people that I can say have influenced what we have, where I am today. Problem, yeah.
Your Pan-Africanism has led you to a space where you've actually picked your favorite. So I'm always lambasted a lot on my podcast that hey, when I'm Mashian Orata MK, Chiki Mashian, this is an EFF podcast.
Yes.
Chiki, this is an anti-EFF podcast.
Yes.
Chiki, only MK, only ANC. And I've said a lot on the podcast that even if I pretend, the spear organizations, the three of them,
yes,
I love them, because I'm an African man. I cannot pretend. I'm not a politician.
How can you hate on
yes, I can't. And I tell people that, look, man, so your PAC, your UAT, all other small political parties, they must actually close shop and find this thing. I said it before the MK thing came. Yes, I said before the MK thing came. But of course, I lamented my difficulties with why you open a party and then say others must relinquish theirs and come and join. It's a very difficult thing, and this is what makes us as Africans not unite. So what I'm going to do now is I'm going to name political parties randomly, and then you tell me what you feel about them and what you think their problem are. African National Congress.
Infiltrated big time.
Infiltrated.
Yeah, infiltrated. Okay.
Yeah, sure.
Okay. Yeah. Infiltrated big time in a sense, like I said, the ANC, when it obtained the power, it was there to serve everyone and not their people. And they are there with this rainbow nation, multiracial rubbish that they are doing, which is fine. It's working for them. It worked for them for so many years, but African people are slowly waking up. So the ANC infiltrated big time. Is it the real the ANC or like people are assuming there's powers outside the ANC that influence within? If you follow the history of Cyril Ramaphosa, you follow who paid for his tuition, you follow where did he work, his first job after, you understand that the man, he will never stand up and go against the African people or the white people or the investors or whatever. He will always want to try to make everyone happy, and that's what we're getting with this Bella Bill rubbish and everything. So ANC infiltrated to a point. I don't think it can be fixed within 10 years. Never. I think those people, even after Cyril goes, they will still be invested into the ANC because of it holds a big chunk, still has structures, still have people that are voting for them. As long as the ANC remains, even in the 35 region, even in the 25 region, I think investors will want to invest in them because they will still have some type of impact on the direction our country takes. So I could like to the people who want to fix the ANC.
So I tell people that a lot on this podcast, and I keep repeating myself. I regard EFF as the best political party in South Africa. But the ANC is the Bible of how to do South African politics.
Yeah,
They've got everything.
Yeah. That Bible was closed. The last chapter was closed somewhere there when Zuma left. Let's be honest. We can't continue saying this current ANC is the Bible of how politics should be run. This one, wasn't it?
I tell them that ANC politicals, and I'll give you a lot of examples. Pound for pound. If you take a branch chairperson of the ANC, you put it against.
Yeah, I hear what you say when you say pound for pound.
Yes, I mean,
ANC will win.
The cream, the political knowledge, the systems knowledge, the organizational culture, the ready for deployment. Cadres must be ready to be deployed. You go to ANC, you find a cadre that's ready to be deployed somewhere. The ANC is a cream. You understand? And then you will come the EFF in terms of political structure and stuff. So what you are saying about the ANC, I want you to understand that you might be saying it against Fikile Mbalula because it's not the best in the history of the African National Congress. But Fikile Mbalula, you compare him with other secretary generals of other political parties.
He still wins there.
Exactly, because this is what people misconstrue. During the elections, when I was doing elections, I was telling people that because you don't hear a lot of people defending the ANC on social media because they have been sworn at by, of course, MK and EFF.
Yes.
You think the ANC is dead, but it's not dead. It's not. There are people who still vote ANC.
That's the problem that the ANC has.
For wrong reasons and for right reasons.
Yes.
Let me tell you about the right reasons. If my parents or my family eats off the ANC, eating off the ANC would be, in Tshwane, we are in Tshwane. In Tshwane, this coalition, even the ANC says they are leading this coalition.
Of course, they are.
Yes.
They are.
So imagine if you are eating off this ANC cabal and you want to outvote the ANC in 2026. You can't vote against your own plate of food. You understand? And this is the the stuff people may not understand. Those who are eating, they will want this thing to continue eating. That being said, what's your final word about the ANC? You say it will last 15 years after?
No, I'm
after
not saying
Ramaphosa
last.
falls?
I'm saying fixing it will take maybe 10 to 15 years.
Oh, the reason is impossible.
Yeah.
Fixing is impossible.
Yeah, no. If
that thing is more likely to die than being fixed.
I know it won't die. It won't die.
But I'm saying, it's more likely to die than being fixed.
No, I disagree.
How can you fix it? It's unfixable.
Like you said, the weakness of the ANC is that we don't get to see people defending it properly. I sit with I work for government, so I sit with ANC leaders, and I know if they were to be given a camera, they will defend the ANC properly, and their mind is badly right. But the problem is that those people are not in the leadership structure. So I'm hoping with the lie it will corrupt and crumble down, and these ones can come up. And I know in every province there's those ANC leaders. You ask yourself, why is this person not at the top?
Exactly.
Not at the top. So I'm hoping that they will get there and fix the ANC. But in fixing the ANC, they will then realize, we are actually not in control here, because every political party must get funding to compete. You saw when they closed the taps, working government when they closed the taps, taps last year for the election, because they were no longer in control of the metros. They could not use the government money to campaign, because everyone is in government now. You've got an EFF person and DA person is somewhere in government. So they closed the taps and said, what is the term that they used?
A moratorium?
No, what is this?
No, we'll find it.
Anyway,
we'll find it.
Yeah, that there's no money.
Yes,
there's no money, so we limiting the
spending.
Yeah, the spending of government, because they knew other political parties can do what they were doing. And remember, those political parties actually come from the ANC, so they know everything. ANC can be fixed. ANC must be serious with the youth. Take Malaji out and be serious with the youth. There's some serious youth leaders in the ANC that can come up and take from Malaji. Malaji is you can't go to parliament and test those millions and come back and lead. You will see what will happen to Sitlelos. You can't taste those millions and come back and be angry about student issues. It's
a blue light effect. Once you become a minister, you don't want ordinary life.
Yeah, no, you can't.
Okay, so you agree with me, cadre for cadre.
Yeah.
ANC is way above the rest.
Yeah.
Cadre to cadre.
Yeah.
I mean, the ANC has like a sea full, an ocean of cadres.
It's in their weakness. Like I said, Rena, what are you doing for black people? Don't tell me what are you doing for South Africans. There's a difference between South Africa and South Africans.
Yes.
So we're not busy more everyone.
Sure.
Now I want to know, as a Pan Africanist, what are you doing for my people? And that's the weakness of Pan Africanism.
Sure.
Because the Rena fail.
Sure.
So the ANC is looking for everyone. Pound for pound, yes, the ANC is, they've got the most votes. If we take the IEC serious in terms of the numbers they gave, it's the best political party in South Africa, unfortunately.
Yes. I read them number 2 after EFF, by the way. Let's talk EFF.
Yeah.
So EFF, and I want to qualify this.
Attacks are coming. Yes.
I said myself before Floyd left. I'm repeating this for those who have not heard me speak. I said Julius Malema must leave the EFF temporarily and a style. Listen to what I'm saying. Style. I tlogele the same way Helen Zille left the operations of the party. The reason is, as we said when we were sitting, he has reached everyone that needs to be reached. People who can vote for EFF, all of them have already voted. Yes. Is the new one that needs to be convincing, and those people would have been reached better placed by Floyd. Unfortunately, Floyd has left. it's going to be even more difficult. So this is me. So I'm giving back to you. That's my assessment, and I hope I'm not leading you to anywhere. If you've got your own idea.
You won't. Never. Yeah. Not with Julius. No, Julius is not going anywhere.
Of course, it's not going anywhere.
Not now. Not even in the strategic form that you are talking about.
Yes.
In the parties are not the same. Kokozil and Steer Boy Steenhuisen.
Yeah.
That's my boss. What I'm doing.
I continue.
So it's not the same. It's not the same. No. Black people, let's be patient with Julius. Let's be a little bit more patient with Julius. He's got a lot of shortcomings and everything. But the day you remove Julius from that seat and you put him in a strategic point wherever, like he says, he wants to be buried with the flag of the EFF, and you put him in a strategic who are you going to place there?
That's what I'm saying. Floyd would have been the best
one. I don't agree.
No. Look, Floyd would have been the best one then, but now it's water under the bridge.
Floyd would have turned against Julius if he was the president of the EFF.
But
promise you.
That's exactly what I'm saying. You know, John Stetson can't turn against Helen. But grade 12. That's exactly what I'm saying. You give him the
Floyd
operation.
Floyd has got the brains to turn against Julius, and he has proven.
You know, when I did the MK party constitution, I said this is the exact document that Julius Malema should have came up with. Because one of the things I criticize EFF is twigging for Democrats. Why do you need democracy? I'm an African man. Democracy is the worst form of governance. I'm an African man. I live in a democracy because there's not any other thing that I can do. I'm telling comrades that, and I keep telling them, democracy is a scam.
You don't have a problem with dictatorship.
No, benevolent dictators make things move.
Happen, yes.
Because look, let me tell you, I was telling a lady from Swaziland, say, hey, you guys want multi-party democracy. Emona, you are not going to achieve anything. The only thing South Africans are achieving with multi-party democracy is to swear at a sitting president, nothing happens to them. That's like the only thing, but you will regret this thing of wanting multi-party democracy. It doesn't work. Ours is a constitutional democracy. Even when everything agrees, the constitution people, how many judges are they? They can overrule everything that we have done, and they give us a paper. It is a problem of the land, and there's nothing you can do. It's the interpretation of those judges, how they agree. And judges are human, they can be influenced.
They are influenced.
But as I say, I think Julius Malema should have done what MK has done. Get a document, because that document is just to make sure that no one, as long as President Jacob Zuma is alive, no one can overrule or can do anything, because it's just exactly that document. Julius Malema must have done it and rule EFF from aside strategically, just to get a new messenger and probably a new message.
Not a new messenger.
Yes.
He remains the messenger, just a new face.
Exactly, because this is what should have happened, so that no one can snatch that thing away from him. But in fact, I love Julius Malema. I keep telling people that Julius Malema has done everything an African man can do to convince South Africans to vote for him. People don't want him. There are a lot of podcasts that I've done. They say, look at EFF. These guys are the best political party. I mean, Julius Malema's story is one of the best narrated, but a ceiling is reached. No matter how much we love him, people don't want to vote for him.
A rebranding is needed for the EFF. I did a video this morning, 2 a.m. about the top 6. The rebranding of the direction of the EFF needs to happen. But I don't want, maybe I've got a soft spot for Julius. I don't want him to be totally out of that. I see how it works for the MK. I'm not sure if it will work for the EFF.
Because they
EFF,
made democracy their central thing.
No. The EFF has demigod Julius. They don't question him. He can say something and come out and say, no, man, yesterday I was making a political statement, man. That was a political engagement, and they forgive. You understand?
The same happens to Zuma.
Yeah, no, but Juma, I think Juma ended to be a demigod. He ended, I think he's old. It's like, Baba did not mean it like that.
Yes,
Actually, what Baba was saying was
Yes.
this one. So, for Julius, he should tread carefully than Jacob Zuma, because people are not that forgiving to him. You understand? People, South Africans, icon. One thing I've noticed with my political journey in terms of Pan Africanism, South Africans don't want Pan Africanism.
South Africans actually do not love unity amongst themselves. They will pretend they do.
Yeah, no.
They do not. And I'll give another example while we're still discussing EFF.
Yeah.
When I King, it pains me a lot. And I said a lot on the podcast, look, Julius Malema is called a dictator. He's a hard worker. They call him a dictator. You know why they call him a dictator? Because he's a strong leader. Yes, he's a strong leader. They say, you know how long? When we went into 94 elections, SACDP was there, led by Kenneth Mish. Zolinzi Mavavi led COSATU for many years, and is a democratic entity. He led it for many years. There are a lot of parties, UDM, Tembago. There are a lot of political parties, IFP. Those people are not called dictators, but Julius Malema is getting that dictator tag. You understand?
The Patriotic Alliance.
Yes, Jacob Zuma is off the hinges. He's not even called a dictator. But I'm just giving an example of just how Julius Malema, even though he works hard to be, and I'll do a podcast talking about the flaws of Julius Malema. I've got it planned. Julius Malema is one of the most hated people. He's one of the most polarizing figures in the history of our South African politics.
By blacks.
By us, even white media, they hate him. This is why I say he must shift himself. So his hate must not affect the EFF. And I will defend that for as long as someone convinces me otherwise. Because they hate this man more than the party itself. Maybe test shifting Julius Malema so to save EFF. But now it's too late, because who on that top 6 can do it?
No one.
No one. So
not in the
Floyd, Floyd would have been the best to do it, and unfortunately,
Josie would have also.
Yes, in
Josie would have also.
But the same argument I say about Panyaza, you say Panyaza will be ready. By the time Panyaza is ready to go to Matlambandlovu, by the time he's ready, will the ANC still command the same strength? No. When Ndlozi will ascend.
Ndlozi's out.
When he ascend.
No, Ndlozi's out. He's not going to ascend to what? Ascend to MK. Ascend to what? Back to he's out.
That's the calamity of the EFF. So let's talk about the future of EFF.
Yeah. Yes, I agree that point will come. And unfortunately, it's going to come too late, because I believe the EFF might get a shock on the 2026 local elections. Because I don't believe the elections are free, fair, accurate, and whatever. I think because of the threat he is to white monopoly capitalists, they might even hit them even a little bit more. Just drop them 1% more. Just to make Julius look bad even further. So it's gonna, if they don't rebrand, because they're talking about, what are they talking now? Defend and what? Whatever they are talking about, it's gonna be difficult. It's gonna be difficult. The future of the EFF in South Africa, like I said, South Africans don't want this African unity nonsense, integrating with other African people, integrating in Africa. They don't want it. They don't want it. It's a small percentage. Maybe that percentage has voted for the EFF, and that's it. You understand? Unfortunately, it's very painful to say that. Even with a Paseta, I can hear the other comments on the comment section. I'm sure they will come and close Paseta if we think the King Said So is an MK podcast or whatever. You're getting hate from both angles. So like, Paseta don't say.
In fact, let me tell you
Yes,
something.
yes.
And I tell a lot of
But I
EFF
must say, with the famous words of Julius Malema, try me.
I said it a lot on this podcast about my relationship with EFF people. And I've said it many times. So, guys, do you know the lens I go through
To promote you
to
guys.
promote
Yeah.
and talk civilly with EFF people? You will not believe. You will not believe. You know, Season Pofua just got his LLB. Congratulations. Let me tell you something. Do you know I was disappointed when Julius Malema took on the podium to say Sizwe can interview his father, because that platform is an MK platform. It's sad, man. It's very sad. It reminded me when Julius attacked Penwell for no reason. For no reason. Julius attacked Penwell. Now you don't like Penwell. He attacked Penwell for no reason. So it's.
But what was he saying about Penwell?
Let me give you a perspective. So Penwell spoke about how, and you said good things about Julius. Penwell said Elon Musk.
Good. He
Yes,
speaks good about Julius.
he always does.
Yeah.
But I mean, he gives fair criticism.
Yeah.
He's a fair critic. So he was speaking about how even before they understood, Julius Malema spoke about who's this guy, Elon Musk. And say, I mean, come on, this thing is not difficult. These people must just talk and stuff. How? I don't even know. Maybe Julius was given a clip or the entire thing. Hey man, like a ton of bricks. Julius plays work, hitting Penwell, telling him, there's only one podcaster in South Africa and stuff. And I felt, man, Julius, there was no need
Who was
for
that
that.
one podcaster?
It was McG. He says Julius is the only podcast that's McG.
Yes,
but Julius, of course, he will come back and say,
1 million.
yeah, but then he came back. But Julius does say, in fact, he said it in Orlando when he was speaking about it, to say comrades must go to in their regions and stuff. They must talk to podcasters, all media. They must infiltrate.
Northern Cape.
No, Linna, I do call them out. I've been many times, not one. I mean many times. When I say many times, I'm talking about more than 5 times. EFF people. EFF people.
Chairperson, come on now. How?
Now my difficulty, they don't say no. They say, okay, no, it's fine, we'll do it.
Linna.
Come on. So
Then they don't do it.
Then they don't do it. They know they are saying no. I'm talking about, and I don't want to name names because it will, EFF people will antagonize me. But I did a podcast telling them that, guys, do you know how many of your cadres who I request them? And when I request them, I say, if you can do it, tell me someone who you authorize to come and do it.
Subordinate or anything, yes.
But the EFF fighters, they spew hate on me, saying I'm against EFF because I interview MK. You understand? So, and this is the part that I say,
Julius,
yes, this is the part Julius will attack Sizwe for hosting MK, as if EFF, let me leave it at that, but they understand what I'm saying. In closing, EFF, what do you think about their future? When do you think it will then be obvious to say this thing has dropped? And because
we can't make.
Will they ever take a municipality?
A municipality? No.
Never.
I said when Barkimang Kanekimang Ausiwa Tuleng, the former chairperson or EFF, Veronica Mente, when she was attacking the MK for having I think 35 MPs coming from KwaZulu Natal and saying EFF has got a national footprint. I'm like, hey man, you are not proud that you are not embarrassed, but you are not worried that you don't have a province under you. You are taking a party that has a province under them. You must aim to win Northwest, because go Northwest, they stand a better chance. Win Northwest, have a province, everything or a province, EFF, and then work from there to the other provinces. My heart wants EFF to do well. I want EFF to do well. The
reality?
Reality is no, Buddha. Yeah, Buddha. It's going to be difficult. Only the 2026 elections and the local elections will tell. But like I said, I don't trust the IEC. I don't trust these people. But we embarrass Julia, and South Africans are not gonna be kind to him if he deployed your strategy and stepped aside. But there's no one. Julius looks at himself and like, but after I go, and like Jacob Zuma. Jacob Zuma is like, yeah, but who's gonna take over? If I move, then who? One banal problem here. So,
Umkhonto wesizwe
party Kwaza.
Let's start with the popular question: is MK and EFF a cult?
Cult? Yes, there must be. It's fine. So what?
Okay.
Yeah, there must be. Yeah, let it be. Let it be led by detectors. Let it be cultish in their nature. It's fine.
I tell them a lot to say, if something's your strong point, stop denying it.
How?
Stop denying it.
Yes, you are a Zulu party. So
you
what?
Want to deny? You want to spend a lot of energy
denying
that's your power base.
Yeah.
It's like South Africa being told, Oscar Richard nuclear, it's dirty energy. Use green energy, and they want to pretend that's a good thing.
Exactly.
MK is very strong. On building on Zulu nationalism.
Yeah.
The mistake would be to pretend that that's not their strong point.
Yeah, and they're trying to pretend.
They shouldn't.
They are trying to pretend with the people that they are bringing afloat. But the MK political party, I think 2029 is far for them.
They would have disintegrated.
No, in terms of leave the party, the voters would have seen something. Like they won't buy the bluff for that long. 2029 next year, MK will win the elections.
Okay.
But hey, it's too far, man.
So you are saying there are going to be a lot of mistakes and they are going to lose a lot of people.
A lot of ground.
Until 2026.
They're gonna lose. I'm not sure if that ground is gonna go back to the EFF, to the ANC, because the ANC just needs 2027 just to put Panyaza's deputy president and Paul Esentonyo. They will maintain the 40. They will maintain the 40. Unfortunately, the bargaining nonsense here, the South African Communist Party, that has a big problem with the DA, but has absolutely no problem with Freedom Front Plus. Have you ever heard those people speak about, even the EFF, have you heard those people speak about Freedom Front Plus? As if those people are angels. Even yesterday, yesterday, I was editing something at Julius. He's speaking about when Helen goes, well, Helen can go, Freedom Front Plus can stay, Ratzen. Peter Groenewald must go. He's part of the team that unalived Christian. We can't forgive that. We cannot forgive that nonsense. They must go, those people. They must be kicked out, and we hope in Bopanyaza they will hear our voice. But anyway, the MK, I'm afraid it's too far. Where are you gonna be physically in terms of appearance-wise, Jacob Zuma? Understand? How are you gonna be your health? 2029. He's of age now. Even with the building in the elections, he was struggling. He was announcing appearances and could not go. I believe it's because the man cannot be in 10,000 places at the same time. Right now, he's got help a little bit, and like you said, I think the court stopping him from going to parliament, it actually assisted him because now he can play that laid back, relax, and command seat from Uganda. But South Africans are going to start waking up because the attacks from the EFF, from the DA, from white monopoly capitalist media is going to come too much where South Africans are going to be diverted away from the MK before the 2029 elections. And there might be a party that's still lingering there underneath 20%.
I spoke to MK youth leader who was sitting there and I asked him about those Capitec deposits into Jacob Zuma private account. Say, if it were true, and so the young man said, MK youth leader, he said, if it's true, then it's a crime. So
who's depositing there?
They say parliamentarians were putting money, 10,000 per month.
If you think the Jacob Zuma number one, and the MK is that stupid to do. Come on, no. To a Capitec account, no, I can't believe that. That is personally owned by Zuma. If they make mistakes like that, then Nangasba defend it, because you can't make a mistake like that.
So that's exactly.
You can't. Even you saw with VBS how both Floyd and Tenyo played it. They played it almost
Very
in
safe.
a clever, safe way. You can't. Your own account.
I'm going back to that question.
Yeah.
If it's found out that it's true that that money was deposited in Jacob Zuma's personal account, that young man said it would be criminal and must be arrested.
Yeah.
What do you think? What do you think what do you think MK members would say if they find that it's true?
Nah.
Oh, not you. When you or MK members, what would they think about it?
Yeah, like I said, they will. The MK, because of these things, will start losing, popularity and votes and all of those things. Now, I wouldn't mind if I'm an NK person. I would say, how is this affecting me personally, and how is it going to affect the organization going forward? Is this thing working for us? Why is because the leaders, if they make a mistake like that, they will never come and say, hey, listen, guys, and the reason why we were doing this 10,000 thing is because of 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, even if it's not a good reason that they are giving, and we decided to change this thing to something else.
I'm deliberately going to second phase of the question based on that. So I said, so let's say it's true. Jacob Zuma effort rose this party.
Yes.
He can't eat in parliament. So they devised a means for him to eat in parliament without being in parliament. But those young boys, those young guys says they did not agree to that. Let's say the reason. But so the unfortunate thing is MK has denied it's the truth. You understand? So but it's in court. It makes sound agreement to me if those MK people say we want to give it back to Ubaba. They agree. We are doing this because we want on a personal level, we want to give this money to Ubaba. So because the reason I asked you that way, it's illegal when you look at it that way, but illegal from what? What if MK people said, we want to give this money to Ubaba because without him, this party would not have been here. We want to give him. So
in a law sense, it's not illegal. If all parliamentarians of the ANC decide to deposit whatever money on their personal account to you, what illegality will there be? I don't. You can't win in court with that. But for an MK person to say, okay, if that is illegal, it's criminal, whatever. For doing let's say the politicians. Statement you must be able to advise, your answers.
I'm giving you typical questions that are plaguing MK. So it's an African for us to talk about this. I did a poll to say, without Jacob Zuma, how long will MK last? In terms of if the man dies. And let me qualify this, by the way. I spoke to an MK guy in this podcast. He said if Zuma dies, they would have killed him. And it's unfortunate that he says so, and he believes so. So I want to say to you, if he lives, meaning he's dead, how long will the party hold itself?
If you are talking before 2029, it will be disastrous. The people will scatter. No one will be able to hold that party right now. Floyd is not respected the way he needs to be respected as the SG. Old John Klopeshema, he's gonna try Dr. John, but he's not a politician through and through. He's not going to. Who else is there? Najim Claire Kone. Not going to be respected as my chairman, national chair. Who else is there? I
keep telling people exactly what you are saying, that the MK cadre, the cadres who are ready there, that I can tell you multiple examples of just here in Gauteng of how things are flaunted for MK. And I tell them that those structures that they said Floyd should do, even if he's got the energy to do it, he will not succeed without these people wanting him to succeed, but they do not want him to succeed. Do you know Mepadi in Mpumalanga? That lady has following. That lady
has finances.
And that lady is an example of when I tell people that, guys, you are expecting too much. I asked Isihle from MK, is an MP, I asked him, if you want cadres to be volunteers on the ground, to sacrifice themselves for MK, when the time to it comes, a new member is parachuted. Do you not think you are being unfair? And how are you going to balance this? Because MK people, they think it's easy. It's not easy. Do you know how much people sacrifice their own money? I work with MK comrades and I see them. Some of them do not have money to even go to a simple campaign. It's hard. And you want his feelings, his finances to be disregarded for supporting MK, because someone will come and say, I know King is a podcaster, he will do well to be the national the provincial spokesperson of MK in Gauteng. You jump ship, you go to the provincial legislature. The person who's been working for MK since 16 December 2023 loses out on a seat. There are many, and I spoke to them personally. Others on the call, they tell me, here's a letter machine, they send me a letter, please resign from. So I'm just giving you all of these examples for MK. Or it's going to be tough. And I said, Jacob Zuma must find a way of jailing Mkhwebane and Mepadi. He can't afford to lose any of them. The tough side of MK.
Yeah, that's why I'm asking how long will the clue last. That's why I'm saying 2029 is too far for this party, man.
Yes.
There's just going to be too many things that I love my party so much. But already the way she has spoken and the light that she has brought herself into challenging the party directly, I don't see them, the way she attacked the EFF people that have came into the MK, and that will obviously include Floyd also.
Of course. She's not hiding.
Yeah, no, she's not hiding it. For me, it showed lack of political wisdom.
She's not a politician, she's a businesswoman.
Yeah, she's not a... I wanted to put it...
Yes.
But,
she's not a politician.
She could have said what she said differently, and it was still going to land in the people's ears perfectly. You can say it without saying it. So when she was saying, no, I congratulated Busi and whatever, I wrote an email, she did not respond, and I was like, okay, now you are starting right. And then when she attacked her directly, I was like, I'm a say now, because yeah. And Busi also love her to bits. Pumalanga Kwandebele girl. No, politics not for her.
Patriotic Alliance.
It's working, I call it the pathetic alliance, but it's working for them. Gayton is somehow also still managing, because Gayton does not get people that can challenge him. Look at the people that joke of people that he brought into the parliament. Or who did you hear? Or this person of PA is a strong leader. You're talking about the other parties not having that readiness to go. The PA is worse. I know the people that went there in parliament. Hey, man, those people can't defend any political ideology without saying Mabahambe at the end. They can't. But it's working for them, because colored people have been crying for long for someone that can speak for them. Unfortunately, when he got into parliament, he got into the ANC no, you are not here for colors, you are here for everyone. And Gayton has fallen into that. They're not gonna last also long, but they will always have that base. I think the base for the EFF is 10%. I don't think the EFF will fall below 9%. That base will remain there. So the Patriotic Alliance also, they will always have these 6 MPs. How many do they have? 6 or 8 or something like that. They will always remain with those ones, and building will be difficult, but they will always remain here. Staying with colored people, I so wish there can be a proper, Adams, National Colors Congress, Fidel Adams, can be someone like that is in the right position. Maybe get into the MK, but manage the colored side of the MK and all of those things. So yeah, the Patriotic Alliance. Can you think politics about one thing?
Those people are not politicians. They don't pretend to be. They're hustlers.
And
they're hustlers.
We have to respect them.
Yeah, those guys are hustlers.
It's working for them.
Yeah.
They're not. They saw a space and then they went in there and it worked for them. So we have to respect what they are doing because they've got a follow coming. But colors in South Africa are not as political as African people. You understand? They're still playing the identity card. They're still finding themselves as people, because they will say no. They will fall under the Khoi and the Sen people, not knowing that you can't. Khoi and Sen is not the same thing. Nama people is not the same thing. Their heritage, they know their culture, but they don't know their tradition as colored people. So they're still finding themselves. I'm half black, I'm half. My great grandmother is German. Whatever the case can be, they're still struggling. And once colors win that fight and know what is their identity, I think there will be a stronger force going forward. And I wish that falls under black also.
Action SA, Mashaba.
How are these people getting it right? Look how they are getting it right. Why are they voting for him? They're getting it right. To a degree, they are getting it right. I spoke to their chairperson in Antonio, Mr. Lowe, in Northern Cape, for the former DA chairperson of Northern Cape. And as I'm listening to him, I'm like, I think no problem. I get sense of Pan Africanism more thing. In my mind, I'm like, are you black? Are you black? Are you guys serious with what you guys are saying? But Herman Mashaba must have some good leadership qualities that when you sit with him, he's able to convince you. Because from a distance, I wouldn't follow that guy.
I've spoken to Michael Beaumont. The chairperson of brilliant guy.
Ne?
Listen to Michael Beaumont.
Speaking.
Man, so I've been listening to that guy for a long time. So I met him in Tshwane. I spoke to him. Brilliant mind. You see, that white man, I sit there thinking, why did the DA let this guy go? You understand? He's got a good political mind and he speaks so well.
Is a genuine person?
Well, of course, there's no politician who's genuine.
Oh, okay.
Yes. So he plays good politics. So, and I'm thinking, Michael Beaumont. So the unfortunate thing about him is, if Mashaba steps down, he can't take the seat because he will paint it white, and he will lose constituency. But then, how do they do with that thing?
But then maybe black people that are in the action. They say maybe they will follow him and love him. Push him as their president.
Of course they can, but the vote. What action is saying? Yes. What? Nah, man. They vote Helen. They vote Mashaba because Helen chased him and they want him. So his vote, he's got it, because that man gets votes from the townships. So it's those people who were DA, because they call themselves DA Light after they've actually realized that. I spoke Lifunzun Gobeni, the provincial chairperson. So these guys have acknowledged that and they've done a lot of research. They actually realize where the voting block is. And if they put Michael Beaumont, who's a brilliant communicator and politician, they put him there.
President?
I don't think they have that thing.
Or they don't have that type of a structure?
Yeah, no, John Mutala said to me, which other deputy president do you know? Besides Floyd, you are going to tell me about the ANC. But because this political parties is just one man thing.
Shows.
Yeah.
Yes.
So IFP, I thought it would die. It didn't.
You can't kill something that is well funded. We're talking millions. When I saw the numbers of the IFP, the financial numbers, I was like, these people are making more from this Rebecca girl and all of these people than what they are making in parliament. Yes. So you can have people getting parliament salaries in the IFP without going in parliament. So this person can work at the ground the whole year and you pay him very well. I'm talking about serious money. Yeah. There were people there was a month where they got 35 million. What are you going to do with that money? It's serious money, over 100 million over the past 5 years for funding. What is political parties doing with that money? For Jacob Zuma to have beaten that in KwaZulu-Natal is crazy. Zuma is really, we must respect that, because the IFP is supposed to rule KwaZulu-Natal forever. Because our IFP supporters, yeah, they're just loyal to the IFP. They love their IFP. They won't reason what you can the
Hlabisa?
Not Hlabisa. The premier. Yeah, they can't reason why he's the best guy, whatever.
They don't need to.
They don't need to also.
They don't need to. The guy who said before you on the interview, we spoke about how some politics are not complicated because they are using voting blocks. The reason those monies are channeled to IFP is because of that voting block. The beauty of Zulu nationalism. You're not complicating anything. You don't have any ideology. I'll take care of Amazulu, and Amazulu will take care of me. If IFP agrees to merge with MK, then MK will leave after Jacob Zuma. It's as simple as that.
No, they will never.
If they merge, I don't know how they would, because remember,
you're likely to see the ANC.
And sorry to sound insensitive with this example. King Goodwill is late. Umntwana Chief Mangosuthu is late. If Jacob Zuma leaves, Umisi Zulu is too young to carry the whole nation on his shoulders alone. They need something to rally behind. And this, I say it with a lot of, I know I might be corrected. So, should Jacob Zuma fall, it will be difficult to marshal MK. And we don't have Mangosuthu. And it's going to be very difficult. So the Zulu nationalism agenda needs to be carried not in two pots but in one pot, just to consolidate it. And people will be happy because then they will chop down KwaZulu-Natal. It's going to be very difficult, you understand, to find a Zulu nationalist leader who can unite the whole province. And it's not something to be taken light. And that's why I'm saying the strong point of MK must remain its strong point, Zulu nationalism. Julius Malema said it. You will hardly find staunch political ideology from MK. It's like staunch political ideology, you will not find it. Traditionalism, anti-constitutionalism, blackness, they can't say it out loud, but Zulu nationalism. Yes, so that thing is the strong point that they must rally on, and I think IFP has been sustained by that, and they should not fear being looked at as if, yes.
Such. IFP, I think also when the political education starts kicking into the public, people are slowly seeing the IFP for what it is. A sell-out party, working with the Abalungu Laba, taking money from these people. The generation that's coming, my generation, the 80s, the 90s, the 90s, they are slowly going to start moving away from the loyalness of culture and tradition and history. That's why the ANC is losing power, is because they no longer care about what the ANC did 15 years ago, 500 years. We care about what are you doing now. And it's losing power because of that. A new generation is coming into the political party. And I think the voters also in KwaZulu-Natal are gonna shift. I mean, they've already shifted. The IFP was ruling KwaZulu-Natal for how long until Zuma took it? And now they go back 18%. In KwaZulu-Natal, where we say it's your strong base, What if you drop to what if the EFF improves? What if the ANC improves? What if you drop to 13%? We can't consider any US a threat anymore. They need to rebrand also those ones.
SACP, the only communist party in South Africa, wants to do elections on their own. They've been threatening for many times and they want to do it alone. I don't see them surviving outside the ANC unless they merge with MK or EFF, who they are likely to find political ideology to lean on. They do not have structures. All their members are ANC members who will then to find what councillor would have, they would have to use someone from the who's rejected by MK to come in, because on the union side of COSATU and other affiliates, they will not find a socially ready cadre for 2026. What's their time? What's their shelf life if they leave the
There's
alliance?
something more that the Mashiach that is more important to me than what you are saying. Ne. Don't die a coward, man. Don't die a coward because you are. Those people have got what 300 members on their books. They're not gonna make it in elections. And divided members, dual membership members from the unions, members from all over the place. They won't make it. They won't make it. But I'm saying, the problem with Pan Africanism that's that we are stubborn. I respect the stance that they are taking to say we refuse to work with these people. And we're not big brother ANC. If you are going to consistently insist to work with these people, we are stepping aside. We're getting that in our families also, where we because of your stubbornness, we're just going to leave you to do what you do, and we're going to remain with our pride intact. I respect Ibo Soli so much for taking that stance. It's a risk. Understand? They're gonna be a laughing stock. They're gonna be laughed at the ANC by the ANC when they come back after they have fallen. You know, so it's a pride issue. Bosoli, they're asking themselves, are we gonna die cowards? People are saying we've been threatening to leave the ANC since 19 Kobitolo till today. Let's show the ANC that we are actually serious. Even if we get one seat, it's fine, comrades. Let's do something to show that we are serious. And for me, I'm respecting that stance for people that are standing for African people more than their vote, if they will get their votes or whatever.
In closing, Democratic Alliance.
Hey, Democratic Alliance. My African people, you are voting for that party. All I want to say is that whites will never see us as their equals, especially the Afrikaners, because but differently, half German, half whatever. The Dutch will never see us as their equals, and forever and ever they will want to lead. You can see how Helen Ziller is behaving. You can see what they did to Musi Maimane. You can see what they did to Herman Mashaba. I don't know, what are you waiting for? Who must they do it to? Maybe when they do it to Kwahobe, you'll understand. But they will never see us as their equals, those people. And they want to rule in terms of getting themselves more wealthier, keeping the land that they have, and doing whatever. So with the DA, I've got nothing good to say. But I have to acknowledge that their strategy is also working. They looks like they are maintaining their ceiling of 20-something% and not falling underneath that. All we need to do is come back home as African people, whether it is to the ANC, to the MK, to the EFF, or jointly together as separate parties, but combining our vote to reach 50+1%, and trying to fix our country. Because South Africa is the last hope when it comes to African countries seeing that Africans can rule their country. We're trying our best. We've been looked at as the cheese boys of Africa, but we can turn that into a good thing. And there's no way we'll be able to do that as long as we're now voted at DA. I saw this abaira match no isn't match abaira that thing.
Monument.
No, not that one. Ka election. they went to
Union Building.
Ba interview Mama Mola. Mama, why taking?
Apartheid
in account. Apartheid no account. You. If we've got such people, then I don't know. I don't know. Hey, South Africa, the dynamics of our political environment, it's crazy. It's crazy. But let the DA continue doing what they're doing. And also, I must say it in the spiritual realm, because you guys want to kill Jacob Zuma so much. You want to kill Cyril Ramaphosa and Julius Malema. I wonder how the DA is going to look without the Okoko. That's my Elena or Lapine. And I'll strong. Hey.
In closing, I want you to speak it. How important is, religion and spirituality are very difficult topics in South African politics. How important is it to be religious or to be a person of spirituality because our politicians do both. They do African religion, they do Christianity, because that's where they get their vote and loyalty.
On the stage, on their event, they will allow
they do deliberately. Because they don't want to lose any of these votes.
They don't want to lose anyone.
There's no political party, by the way, who has taken a side to say, we don't agree with this, we agree with this.
Yeah, well, the Christian Democratic bargaining. If you're going to do it the way they are doing it. Involve your Muslims, tumang impe polapo, do whatever. For me, the way they're doing it, it's right. It does not affect the individual belief of a leader when they go back home. You understand? But if you understand what spirituality is, you are contaminating the environment. And you might not know why is the division or whatever is happening spiritually, what is happening there. So for me, that's my only concern, because some of these things, they are quite opposite. So the way they're doing it, I guess it's working for them. When was the ANC? The ANC was somewhere. All the pastors were praying. They worked with everyone, but
milking everything.
But these things work against you. So, and they won the case, They won the case. So I don't want to delve into, for me, separate things. Politics and religion and spirituality is separate things. I will try even at the Pan Africanist School of Economics, Technology and Agriculture to separate these things so that it doesn't create division. Not to have a stance, or we are Christian, if you are not Christian, whatever. That's the weakness. Why must we be divided by religious beliefs?
Sankara said, any soldier that does not have political ideology is a very dangerous.
It's a potential,
So these comrades who are in parliament, who are in government, you realize, or most of them, they don't have one unison ideology that they believe in. All our African people, everyone gets it, and everyone's taking care of his family and his pockets. That's why those 10,000 rands going to Jacob Zuma hurts them.
Let me say this, because that's the important thing. A relay interviewer almost entirely on English. Imagine now you are fighting the cause to say Africans must speak Kiswahili, and as you are fighting this cause, you are seeing how big this war is, because as a historian, you understand how we got to the point where we are speaking English and Afrikaans. You understand how many years, what type of system was placed to force an lashing, hanging, killing. You understand? So that your child must have an English name. And now the system is so good that they don't need to be there physically. John, Paul, Mang, without being forced as a black person. So imagine the decolonization of that. These politicians, when they get in, they want to solve all the communities' problems, sewage, water, whatever. When they get in there, they realize how big this thing is. Fuck, man. Let me just eat. Because I'm trying, and I'm trying to fix this thing, and I can't expose my comrade and all of those things. It's not easy when you get into there. That's why I'm praying to God. Hey, because at the end, if you want to have serious impact in South Africa, you have to be somewhere influential in the political realm. And I'm praying, I don't want to be there. Maybe we're not over mayor.
No, it's too far for me. I deliberately wanted us to discuss big political parties,
Yes.
not small one. But any surprise package that you think we are not taking cognizance of, like from small parties, like maybe your ATM, because it's a big puncher. Because ideologically they are grounded on religiousness and Pan Africanism. They stand, anything you want to say about Zungula and other small parties in closing?
It breaks my heart. Zungula has to join a bigger party.
Of course.
Aksana nakoya PAC, Azapa. I don't have time for that nonsense anymore. I'm all about impact and numbers. Unfortunately, no matter how beautiful those political parties are operating at their own small little corner, and Zungula sees it. Zungula, if we were to go with popularity and say who is to be the next president, we put Zuma, Zungula, Julius, and Antonio. Zungula, if not number 2, he will be number 3 in South Africa. Of all the politicians, he's loved by everyone outside the ATM. It's just people are not going to vote for the ATM because it's so small. And spokesperson or anyone from the ATM. So it looks like he's aligning himself with the MK, because the MK had an event same time with the EFF, and he chose to go to Moses Mabhida. So that says a lot. And he paid buses out of his own pocket, the party's pocket, to bring the ATM people to the stadium. I thought they were going to make an announcement or ATM is joining in Twingyo. So Zungula is such a brave, worthy leader without making noise. Guy puts out because not trying to volume. It's either you are too angry or we don't want those things. We want the person that attacks. But when he speaks, that man, there's so much authority in his words. And I wish that political parties like Bo Mpotagada and all of them, politicians must just align themselves in some type of other bigger organization so we can stop this thing. You saw in the elections we had 25 political parties complaining about the results. 25. It is too much, man. It's too much. Black parties don't say debate 3 failure, man, in South Africa. Really, 3, 4 maximum. Yeah, there's no other without jumping anyone. Small political parties. I would like it. Azapo, I interviewed the president. So disappointed. Nelvis Kakema, I was so disappointed. I asked him. I said, "Listen, if you take power, and there's two people coming to claim land. There's an African boy and a black boy. Which one would you give land?" I'm from Azapo. I'm expecting a straight answer. The man said, "No, we will make sure we share the land equally amongst everyone." That's why there's a Krali City one. So for me, I want a person that stands somewhere. Either you're standing left or you're standing right. Don't be an ANC and stand in the middle.
Now, if I continue asking more questions, we won't end this.
Yes.
My sharing politically correct. Let me leave it at that. Whatever you've picked up, please let's share. Tell us what is it that you heard from.
Let me say, it's an honor for me to have met you personally. We've been speaking now for over a year, and I'm so happy that you are growing in your own sense as a political, as a podcast, and listen, Oscar Fela Moya, slowly but surely you know how much work needs to be put in.
And this thing is a lot of work.
People don't know. Exactly.
Load shedding. Thank you. We've been cut out. Those who can see us from the darkness. Thank you. Sharp.